Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels, your favorite
Everyone, it's the
wrestler.
Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. We're coming at you live from Germany at 2 o'clock in the morning as we are here to talk about NXT TakeOver, the end. It's a very special Dead on Dave live tonight. That's right, because we got a midweek pay-per-view to talk about. And after a rather disappointing overall, I would say, Raw, we kind of need it. I mean, everybody's up in anticipation for, I think, Money in the Bank. I think people are a little excited about Money in the Bank. But the big news is obviously the big change in the WWE. SmackDown going live. The brand split. That's what people are talking about. That's what people are excited about. And that's what people are anticipating. So it's kind of nice to, after a couple of lackluster Raws in a row now, to have an event that everybody is universally excited about and universally feel like it's not going to fail. This should be a great event. It's a 5-match card. It's very simple. It's not difficult. It's easy. It's breezy. And we know it's going to not be sleazy. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be some great matches on there, including the first ever cage match on NXT. I mean, my God, lots of good stuff happening, and I couldn't be more excited. I really am. It's going to be a good event. Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, man, my beard is looking nappy, and if your beard's nappy, ain't nobody happy, folks. Got to brush that beard out. Very excited about this, man. Shinsuke Nakamura, anytime I see him, I'm a happy guy. So, all right. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Pittsburgh Boy, Kneecab Wrestling, Diamond Boy, Black Lagoon, Joe Martin. I saw Terry up in there. Pittsburgh Boy, they're all here. What's going on, guys? Carl Gibney. Hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. Go make sure you let the entire world know that you're watching the only prediction show that matters, the one that's going to give you everything that you need to know and let you sound off and get your voice heard. That's right, we're going to take your calls, we're going to take your predictions, and as I am going through match by match, feel free to throw your predictions in the comment section or donate to the channel if you like, and I'll read off your predictions live on the air. If you decide to donate, if you want to donate, go right into the description box of this video. There's a link for it, and you can put in a comment exactly what your predictions are, and they'll show up on the screen, and I'll read it off, and boom. It's good stuff. It's all alles Gute in the Hute, you know what I'm saying? So that's great stuff there. Let's jump into it, man. Let's not gild the lily. Make sure you hit the like button, okay, suckers? Other than that, let's get into it. Let's just dive right in, shall we, with the first match of the evening. Ty Dillinger is getting on the card, which is great. Ty Dillinger getting in the mix on NXT TakeOver the end. I like Ty Dillinger. I think he's a great wrestler. I really do. I think he's a great performer. He's a great wrestler. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to elicit response. For some reason, everybody got behind the Perfect 10 situation. They love that name, mainly because it's the one time that nobody decided to go nuts over the fact that it's a porn name. The Perfect 10 is a porn name, and it was a porn site. I think it's still a porn site, and it's great, especially it was during the same time where the submission sorority shit with Paige and all that. When they sent them a gift basket, that was great. Oh my God, how good was that? But for whatever reason, Ty Dillinger has gotten over with the fans, and he has won some matches here or there on NXT and lobbied himself to get a match on NXT. And because Regal is such a good guy, he decides to let Ty Dillinger take on the debuting Andrade Almas. Now, those of you who know who that might be, that's Lo Sombra from New Japan and the independent scene. Fantastic wrestler. And let me tell you, they've done such a good job of getting this guy some interesting mystique with his vignettes where he's taking off the lucha mask. I'm intrigued by this guy. He's a good-looking guy. I know he can go. I've seen his matches on the independent circuit. He's fantastic. So this is going to be a fun match. Not too much fun for Ty Dillinger, of course, but fun for the rest of us. It is going to be cool to see this guy go on this level because he's really good. He's really good. The talent level continues to go up in NXT, which continues to feed into the WWE. It's good stuff altogether. So it's good. It's good. Shiza, mein Kaiser. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this match, but the outcome is fairly predictable. I think La Sombra, is going to get the victory rather impressively, but don't discount what Ty Dillinger does for these debuting guys, because they know Ty Dillinger is the guy who's going to go in there and not fuck anything up. He's going to give a fantastic match to whoever he's with, so he's trusted. He's trusted. Is that ever going to be rewarded? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. But we'll see. We'll see. Love to hear from you guys. Go ahead and throw in the chat who you think is going to win this match. La Sombra, or now, I'm sorry, Andrade now. Or Mr. Ty Dillinger. XLT Tutel says, I quit Dave's show. Peace out. I don't know if that's real or not because this isn't the first time. But I hope not. Hopefully he'll call in and be a part of the show. I never know with Tutel. I have no idea. Not the first time. If he does, he does. I have no idea. I don't know if Tutel was going live tonight. I've had my shit fucking up for 14 hours. So I don't know. He didn't contact me. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Anyways, yes. Ty Dillinger, Andrade, boom, dunzo. Those two should have a fantastic match. Call in, Tutal, Jesus Christ. Or quit. One of the two. I don't give a shit. Andrade, Dillinger, bang. All right. Moving on. Joe Martin says, Ty Dillinger, really? Joe Martin says, Ty Dillinger? Holy crap. TLWG Key says, I think Finn Balor will lose to Samoa Joe and then debut at Money in the Bank to help AJ Styles beat John Cena. Very possible. Very possible. I think that's possible. Why not? Anything is likely at this point. Anything is likely at this point. All right. So next match on the card, we've got my most anticipated thing. Look, I don't get more excited about anything than I do when it's Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, man. I'm super excited about it. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. Because it's a dream match. It's a dream match in a lot of ways. We get to see Shinsuke Nakamura fight all these guys for the first time on not only an American stage, but a lot of these guys for the first time ever. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are expecting the outcome to be Shinsuke Nakamura, but don't be surprised if they do end up kind of throwing a curve, an audible, a swerve, something in there, and have Aries win this match, because Aries certainly has the credibility to beat Nakamura. But come on, let's be honest here. It's Naka time. Nakamura, who is quickly becoming the most popular wrestler in NXT, and honestly, probably going to be the same way in WWE. There's something about this guy. You love him. You see him. He's magnetic. It's just incredible to see the things that he's capable of doing. But, you know, you could say a lot of the same things about Aries, who, let's be honest, with Nakamura and some of the other guys who have come in, Aries' debut, Aries being in NXT seems to have taken a back seat. And a guy like Aries thrives on things like that. He loves that type of situation because he can go focus on the things that he does well. And what he does well is just be Austin Aries. So those two should have a fantastic match. I'm calling match of the night situation with those two. I think it could be a great match. Hopefully, though, look, when there's only 5 matches on like a 2.5-hour card, you know there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm picking Shinsuke Nakamura for the win. I mean, it doesn't get too much easier than that. Chris Payne says it's only Money in the Bank is only 4 matches. Yeah, Money in the Bank so far, but don't worry, that'll be brought up a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, as far as this match, Nakamura over Aries for the victory. Yay! All right, what's your guys' take on this? Carl Gibney says Nakamura for the win. Pittsburgh boy Nakamura for the win. Chris Payne actually picks Andrade in the other match. No, everybody's picking Andrade except Joe. TLWG, that Nakamura versus Austin Aries match will be better than any match at Money in the Bank, in my opinion. You could be very, very well right there. I'm not sure. Look, I'm expecting big things out of AJ Styles and John Cena. I think that's going to be a great match. But that's for then. This is for now. This match is going to be incredible, and I'm super, super excited about it. Shinsuke Nakamura, give me the king of strong style. All right, let's move on to the tag team titles. This is kind of the let's get it over with type of match. Look, the Revival are fine and dandy. They're a great tag team, but it's never a good sign when the tag team that lost the titles going into a rematch with the champions lose to another random tag team, not so random really, before their rematch with the champions. Because Mr. Gargano and Ciampa just beat the Revival. So, I mean, everyone's fairly certain that Ciampa and Gargano are going to be getting into the title picture very, very soon to take on Gable and Jordan, American Alpha. And it should be a great match, a great situation in and of itself. But the Revival aren't going anywhere as of yet, and they're going to put on a hell of a fucking show against American Alpha. This could be the one where it seems like it's the most obvious of the night in a lot of ways. Don't be shocked if Revival pick up a win here and kind of derail a little bit of the momentum, because with Revival losing to Gargano and Ciampa, that seems so weird. It seems so out of place. So you have the Revival get the victory. Now everything's kind of jumbled up. And then at Brooklyn, you have a triple threat tag team match for the NXT tag team titles between Alpha, Gargano, and Ciampa, and the Revival. That allows you to get more teams, more wrestlers into that big Brooklyn show at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That's a pretty exciting thing, and I think it's something that NXT might do. But then at the same time, it's just very tempting to have American Alpha once again winning easily and being American Alpha, being what they are. That's pretty exciting. So whatever way they decide to go with it, we know one thing. It'll be a great match. The match between these two at NXT TakeOver Dallas, there we go. The tag team match between these two teams at NXT TakeOver Dallas was incredible, and that had a huge botch in it that nobody talks about because it didn't really matter. So we know this is going to be a good match. We know it's going to be exciting, so that's going to be great. So I'm excited about that. American Alpha is who I'm picking, but not by much because of the reasons that I just said. I think there is a possibility that the Revival gets the big ol' win against American Alpha and then goes forward to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and beats up, or not beats up, but gets into a triple threat tag team title match with American Alpha and Gargano and Ciampa. So we'll see what happens, but that should be a lot of fun, and I'm going with American Alpha. Barely. Let's see what the chat says. Carl Gibney says American Alpha should win this. Chris Payne, American Alpha in a long, drawn-out match. Joe Martin, Alpha. Pittsburgh Boy, I'm going with American Alpha. Terry Snow Queen, Alpha. It looks like everybody's got American Alpha. And I don't really blame you. Let's move on a little bit here. Not going to be a long show tonight, folks. We're cruising through this card. Asuka versus Nia Jax. Holy crap. These two finally colliding. This is the immovable force versus the irresistible force versus the immovable object. That's right. This is going to be a fantastic fight, or it's going to be an absolute clunker. I'm not exactly sure which, to be completely honest. My heart says that this should be a knockdown, drag out, Donnybrook of a fight. And I think it will be. I think it's going to be nasty. I think it's going to be physical. I think it's going to be fun. But these are the type of matchups that have a tendency to fall flat because there's so much hype, there's so much build, and Nia Jax is very difficult to work with. They had to go a very unique match style with Bayley and her just to get a really, really good match out of the two. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see as far as execution, but it should be a really good, and it's going to be interesting one way or the other. I'm going with Asuka because I ain't picking against my girl. She's too sexy. She's too talented. She's too amazing. But don't be shocked in another match. Don't be shocked if Asuka's able to pick up the victory here and put the whole kibosh on Miss Asuka's momentum in a way. I mean, Nia, they are high on Nia Jax. Look, it's another Rock's cousin situation. Or I think she's even his niece or some shit. I don't know. Point is, they're high on her. Very high on her. And she's big and she's forceful. She could be a change in the women's division on the main roster. But then again, so could Asuka. So, I mean, both of these women are in a huge situation, and it should be a match that leads to a bigger match. I feel that this is probably the one match on the card that is a jumping off point for Brooklyn. Probably Bayley getting involved in that match at Brooklyn, if I had to guess. Bayley, Asuka, Jax at SummerSlam, TakeOver, NXT, Brooklyn, whatever you want to call it. More than likely. But I'm going with Asuka here. A very, very close match. Let's see what everybody else has to say. Joe Martin, Asuka in a very close match. I think Nia will have everyone believing she will win. Saquin says, my gut is saying Nia. I can't really argue against that. I think that there's a very good possibility that Nia Jax does win this match. It's going to because why not? And, no, because I don't know if you want to derail Asuka. That's the thing. Carl Gibney, this should be a great match, but I think it'll be a disappointment. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, too. Kill 310. Nia Jax, another of Rock's cousins, getting a big push, even though they ain't nothing special. No, she is something special. You're wrong about that, Kyo. She is something special. A woman that size, there's something about her, and she can go a little bit. She's not a nothing. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. Carl Gibney, Asuka to win, though, more than likely. Asuka, but I believe Eva Marie will interfere. Oh, no, I hope not. No. Chris Payne, Asuka retains. Pittsburgh Boy, I love Asuka. I do too. Zion Smith, what's up, everybody? Holy crap, Zion Smith. That's right, I have a Zion in my chat. Do you have Zion in your chat? I do. Zion. Saquin says, yeah, I smell Eva interfering in the match. I hope not. Ugh. And Zion also says Asuka wins. More than likely, that's going to be the case. Asuka getting the big V. And by V, I mean vagina. I mean victory. Same thing, really, when you think about it. It is the ultimate goal. Anyway, let's move it on here to the main event. That's right. For the first time ever on NXT, we have a cage match. Now, they have done a fantastic job of building this feud. A lot of people think that this feud was not going to last nearly as long as it has. This is one of the longest, if not the longest, feud rivalry that NXT has ever had, especially for the NXT title. It has been going on for a long time, and it's pretty damn awesome. It's worked incredibly well. Samoa Joe has legitimately gotten placed as the absolute badass of NXT. Finn Balor losing has caused some more intrigue in a character that desperately needed it. People were getting tired of Finn Balor. They were getting tired of the face Finn Balor, the same shit that we always see, even though he's had to go to a darker place against Samoa Joe. I'm looking for that to even be more defined in this match. I'm looking for them to go very crazy. Very crazy. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this fight. It should be good stuff. And it should really change things within NXT. There's a reason why this thing is being called the end, you know? Everyone's freaking out over the fact that this is the end. And it's not the end of NXT. It's the end of this rivalry, man. It's the end of this rivalry. Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, as long of an amazing feud as they've had, it's time for it to be over. And you know what I like? This is a throwback to classic wrestling where the cage was the ultimate definer. The cage was the settling match. That is where nothing else could end your guys' beef. You got put in a cage, and that ended shit. I like that. It's a throwback to classic old spun it, and I think they've done a really, really good job of making sure that it's going to work out well. Looks like we're having a little bit of drop frames issue here. If that's the case, I do apologize, and we will try to make sure that it gets back alles klar. We'll see. Are we good? I think we're okay. I think we are okay. So, should be a fantastic match. I'm looking for a ridiculous finish. I'm looking for a ridiculous match, to be completely honest. I'm looking for these guys to go absolute cray-cray against each other and leave it all in the ring. Exhaustion. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is going to be a fantastic match, but I'm going with Samoa Joe. I think Samoa's got to get the victory here. Finn's got to move on. It's time for Finn to come up to the main roster. Maybe long overdue. And what he does from there, I have no idea. Let's see what people say up in the Chizat. All right. About this main event match. Chris Payne says, Balor loses for the first time ever wearing the demon makeup. I agree with you. I think that's going to happen. Joe Martin says, I say Joe retains, but I have a lot more to say when I call in. Oh, God, really? Carl Gibney, but I mean Asuka, and I'm sure... all right. Terry Snow Queen, Samoa Joe. Carl Gibney, crazy match with Joe winning. Pittsburgh Boy, Joe wins. I think you're all correct there. Chris Payne. Sequin says, I have Joe winning in a crazy match. Chris Payne, with this rivalry, I feel like somebody has to win inside the cage. I agree. Somebody is going to win inside the cage. It's not going to be an escape the cage type of match. Jericho's Ambrose, I could see this match going 40 minutes easy. I think so. I think that they're going to have a long... There's only 5 matches on the card, but all of them look like they can get a lot of time, so who knows? I think this is going to be a great fight. And it should cap a really, really great event. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this whole card is shaping up to be something pretty damn special and a lot of fun. And it should be great. It should be great. So let's go ahead and open up to the phone lines now. If you guys want to call in, now is the time. On Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or use number 702-751-2902. Sequin says, something is telling me after the match someone will come out and confront Joe. I think it's a very good possibility, whether it be a current guy on the roster or one of the people that we're expecting to be making their NXT debut at some point. I think there's a very good chance of that happening. So We'll see. So yeah, we're opening up the phone lines now, guys. Go ahead and call in if you want to get your thoughts on NXT TakeOver the End. Now's the time. And we will get out of here shortly after that. I'm not going to hold you up too long. So let's start the phone call. Joe Martin, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
All right, I want to just explain why I picked Austin Aries to beat Nakamura earlier. I feel like after Joe retains tomorrow night, I feel like Austin Aries is next in line for a title shot. Even though Naka, if he wins, then he's going to be put. I feel like whoever wins that match is probably next in line for the title. Do you agree?
Yes, but I don't think Austin Aries has a chance at that because Austin Aries and Samoa Joe. That's why I think that you could be right in the fact that Austin Aries could win, and then maybe it's a number one contenders match, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. But the only problem with that would be who would be taking on Joe in the meantime. I think there's a possibility that somebody else comes out at the end of the night and beats up Joe or takes on Joe or something like that to where they have an instant new number one contender for Joe at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, because it feels like Nakamura and Austin's going to go more than just one match.
Yeah, the other reason why I say that, I think the WWE already wants Nakamura up to the main roster already, and maybe this could be his last match in NXT, because I feel like it's time for him to go to
Here's
the
the
main
problem
roster.
with that. There is a problem with that. I'm sure they have unbelievable amounts of confidence in Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm sure they do. But I don't see them risking bringing him up for SummerSlam when you can have him basically at the event to gauge what a big crowd will do with him, and not have to risk putting him on SummerSlam at all. You have him at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and this is for the case of having him in there with Joe. You have him in there with Joe for the title. He's in the main event, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, the exact same arena. It's as SummerSlam. It's the night before, whatever the case is. You do that, and that way you get a really good idea what the crowd's going to do for Nakamura. Look, is everyone's pretty sure that Nakamura's going to get a huge reaction and everyone's going to love him and champagne's going to fall from the heavens and all that? Absolutely. I think people are fairly certain that's going to be the case. But we've been fooled before with situations like this. So with a guy who has been primarily, if not completely in Japan, it's a risky situation, at least from WWE standpoint. Could they bring him up? Absolutely. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to change. You know what? I feel like because what you said before, that Nakamura and Joe would draw more people into that match instead of Austin Aries and Joe, because no one would give a shit about that match.
Yeah.
Like you said. So I think Nakamura might get the win. I really do now. I'm going to change it. But that's it, Dave. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, Joe Martin. I appreciate the call. Have a good night. Joe Martin, everybody. Joe Martin. There you go. So the because apparently Tutal has quit. Tutal has quit tonight. I hope that's not real. I hope it's not the actual case. But he wrote in the chat that he quit. So here's what I need you guys to do right now. If you give a shit about this channel, here's what I want you to do. Go on Twitter and write to Tutal. Hashtag don't quit. Hashtag don't quit. Hashtag don't quit to @XLT Tutal fucking on Twitter. I always forget his shit. Go tweet him that, because maybe I don't show enough love. Maybe I don't show enough love. Maybe. That's a very good possibility. But who knows? Am I not a generous lover, folks? Am I not a generous... No, I guess I'm not. But that's all right. So make sure you go tweet it out and let them know. And show some love. Show some love. Because we don't want Tutal to go. We don't want Tutal to leave. He's my man. I love Tutal. It was very confusing. It upset me. I don't want him to go. Hope he's not leaving. So go make sure you go throw it up there. Bang. Hashtag don't quit Tutal. Bam. Sequin says, I wouldn't be surprised if Hideo Itami confronts Joe. That's a good possibility. Are we going to finally find out who attacked Hideo Itami? Oh, yeah, I think we might. Hideo Itami makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Hey, good call, you guys in chat. You guys, what a great call. Speaking of calls, it looks like we're done with the calls. It looks like we're done with the show. We went through the entire card. It was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But there it was, your NXT TakeOver, the end prediction show. And we've got tomorrow night, NXT TakeOver, the end. Be here for the review directly afterwards, all right? So thank you guys very much for joining me right here on the channel as always. Like, subscribe, and share. And if, you know what? If you don't have talent, have talented friends, people. Keep it copious, drop a like button, and we'll see you next time. Peace!